Hi everyone, and thanks so much for joining us today. We're here with Development Promotions MD Jackie Adami, and we're going to be talking about the Maldives. Thanks so much for joining us today, Jackie.
Hi Sarah, how are you?
Good. Very, very
Good.
So the Maldives, it's such a bucket list destination. And I understand that it's one of only a few international destinations open to South Africans at the moment. So have you seen an increase in demand because of this? And how are you getting people to the Maldives? Because there's so few flights operating at the moment. What options do clients have?
No, sure. Great question. And absolutely, we've seen a huge demand. So it's quite nice to be to have a look at how these things have progressed over lockdown from one destination to the next. And being in travel for a long time, it's just amazing to see. So Maldives for me has always been quite, as you quite said, it's a bucket list, but due to restrictions and due to where people want to go, and it's quite amazing how many people want to travel and they're determined to travel to wherever they can travel. So Maldives has just all of a sudden exploded. It's exploded as it's the one destination we are allowed to go to. And so the interest has been amazing. And I think so much has developed around Maldives since then that has not really been well known through the travel industry and to the South African market. So on getting there, what we did do is we then started looking at charter flights. And the first charter flight went off on the 1st of April and then the next one actually went last Saturday. So that was a very good way to identify how many people are really interested. Both those flights have gone out full.
Wow.
So it's been amazing at the interest and how many people want to go. So it obviously it goes via Seychelles and it goes on to Maldives. The flight is about 9 hours. It does a fuel stop in Seychelles and then carries on. They don't get off the plane, so it's just easy fly into Mali. And yeah, the next charter goes off on the 23rd of May, and then there's another one on the 25th of June. Pretty much all looking really, really good. So that in itself has then led to a demand of people really wanting to go to the Maldives. Sarah, if I look at our quotes from when we started last year, October, November with Maldives, it's just absolutely gone crazy. And it's just getting more and more popular. And I think it's just word of mouth and, people can get there. So it's been amazing. And I think that has obviously led on to scheduled flights starting, from June, July onwards through to the 1st of October. So much so that we then have also flights, 7 departures in December for December holidays. So that's something to look forward to.
That's really wonderful. So so the best option sort of going forward in June would be to book on those new Air Seychelles flights to the Maldives. Okay.
Absolutely. And we have seats on that. So, we've got fantastic specials combined with that. So it's easy to buy, easy to sell, and just fantastic deals for the public.
Okay. So it's the era of travel restrictions. What do people need to get into the Maldives and to get back home? What do they need any PCR tests, etc.?
Yes. So pretty easy. From a PCR test, you will need your PCR test before leaving, obviously, prior to going. It needs to be a recognized PCR laboratory test that has your name on, your full name, all those things that's required. The nice thing is you don't need a visa. So you get a visa issued to you on arrival in Mali, and then you're pretty much on your way. You will get you will get temperature tested. Obviously, that's per normal before you get on the plane, when you get into the airport, and then you get on your transfer. Your transfer could be either speedboat or it could be seaplane, and then you get taken to the resort. You then spend your time on the resort, and then you need a PCR test, obviously, to come back into South Africa. All the hotels that we have, you do your PCR test at the hotel. So most of them actually do have a hospital, they have a nurse. So all of that is done for you, and it ranges between $70 to $100 for that PCR test for your return.
Not difficult at all. Wonderful.
Not at all.
So the Maldives has often been perceived as a honeymoon destination. Are you seeing new segments of the market being attracted at this time where people have very few other destinations to go to?
100%. I think that's really opened up for the Maldives. It's done it, this has done it a huge favor in experiencing and educating people on how much it can offer, even for myself. I've been to the Maldives a few times, so I understand it. And it's just opened up to all sectors of the market. So when I have a look at the quotes coming in and the people that we are booking, it's from honeymooners, it's from people wanting to go over there for their 60th anniversary, it's birthdays, and lots of families. And what the amazing thing is I think they didn't realize how much certain hotels offer you on the kiddies side. Kids clubs and beautiful equipment. They're there for the whole day. They looked after. They have all types of things that they can do. They have little food menus for them. It's just actually quite amazing. And I think what's so nice is getting feedback when these people come back to say, oh my word, I actually didn't realize that it's just unbelievably so organized and so much to do. And, my kids loved it. So I think from that perspective, it's really an amazing destination to go to.
Okay, so attracting the families, that's wonderful.
Yes.
And when we talk about families, how are things when it comes to affordability, as it has had a perception previously of being quite upmarket?
Yes, so I think on the affordability side, again, we've all perceived Maldives to be really, really expensive, and it absolutely isn't. So what we've done is they have kids specials. So kids fly free, kids eat free, kids stay free under the age of certain ages, and depending at different resorts, they get different deals. So from an affordability point of view, it's quite ridiculous. Our packages starting from about 21,000 going up, depending how we put them into the rooms. Some of the resorts, they occupy, you can have 2 adults, 1 child, but depending on which resort we go to, they'll make a plan. We can have 2 children in the room. They have villas where we have families in the room, so they have an adjoining room. I mean, it's just quite astonishing what they can offer. So I definitely think from an affordability side, it's a lot more affordable than one thinks. We did a little exercise, which was quite interesting, on like 5-star domestic hotel, and we put it over 7 nights because most of our trips are 7 nights. And it came in at about just over 60,000, and that is just your accommodation and breakfast. So you pretty much can get pretty much the same deal, maybe a little bit more, 64, 65, 70,000, and you've got your flights, you've got your transfers, got your accommodation, you've got all your food, you've got all your drinks, because our packages work on all inclusive. So I think that's important for people to understand.
So you're saying that for the same price as staying at a 5-star hotel locally, you can spend 7 nights in the Maldives with flights, all your meals, all your drinks, and your accommodation also on a 5-star level. So it's comparable with the domestic package. That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And more comparable because that domestic package I'm talking about doesn't include flights. It doesn't include lunch. It doesn't include dinner, and it doesn't include drinks.
It definitely doesn't include your wife.
I like to break it down because it's really good to know that.
After all the restrictions, we're very keen on those all-inclusive packages.
Oh. Absolutely, absolutely.
Super. And any particular resorts that you'd like to highlight to our viewers that are
sure. So what we've been selling a lot of, and what we absolutely love selling, is the Cinnamon Group. It comprises of 4 hotels, which is Elaidu, Donveli, Belafushi, and Hakurahura. They range from 4-star to 4.5-star to 5-star, each one having their own unique feel and look. The one great thing about these resorts, and I think it's important to know as well, is that you go to a resort that has been renovated, that it is pretty new, which all these 4 have been, because again, like any destination, I would say you can get a really good deal for a really good price to possibly a property that hasn't been maintained or hasn't got the quality of a resort that has fully been renovated, which all 4 of these has. And I do think that's important, because from an agent point of view, from a client point of view, you want them to go and have a great time and come back and book with you again. That's the whole point of it. And I can say that we sell these properties with absolute confidence. So one little example is we had a guy that went, he's traveled a lot, And he said in 20 years, he's never enjoyed a holiday as he did at Don Valley, and he didn't want to leave. So that type of feedback that you get is just, it touches your heart. And I think that's the amazing thing. Cinnamon is an amazing properties. We just have great results coming back from there. And I think that just encourages and inspires us to book them more and more and more. They cater to all sectors. They've got their 4-star, they've got their kids, the Hakura Hura is adults only section. I mean, it's just got everything that you could possibly think of. So that's really what we're angling at.
Great. It all sounds wonderful. Jackie, thank you so much for talking to us today, and have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks, Sarah. Thank you so much for having us.